up next, I had to bring my clipboard with me because I want to make sure I say this name right. You know, I told the students, make sure you write clear. This person didn't hear that instruction. Mrinalini, performing a poem, I Wish. Mrinalini, performing a poem, I Wish. Mrinalini, performing a poem, I Wish. Did I get it right? Rini? Okay, who's Rini? All right, Rini. Hey, I know you. Okay, for I Wish, let's put our fists up and say, live it, okay? Okay? 3, 2, 1, live it!
There are days when the world seems to be full of sorrow. There are days when the newspapers tell terrible tales. There are days when all you can do is dream of a happier tomorrow. On these days, there's something I do. It helps me. It truly does. I make a wish, just one or two. I wish for a world free from war and fighting, full of love, kindness, and joy, not pain, sorrow, and fear. I wish for a world free from gunshots, free from terror, hunger, and hatred, where people from different countries and cultures live in harmony, where empathy and respect is mutual, where casualties are seen as people, not numbers. I wish for a world without global warming, where ice wasn't melting nor temperature soaring, a world that was clean, without any pollution or litter, where animals aren't killed nor trees chopped for mindless products or goods. I wish for a world free from discrimination, a world where all humans are treated as equals, where gender, ethnicity, skin color, and religion don't matter. A world where human rights truly are universal, not a figurative term or an unfulfilled promise. But then I asked myself, will my wishes ever come true? This question I have posed to myself, and now I ask it to all of you. Thank you.
Rini, my apologies. You aced that poem. I messed up your name. I'm sorry. Will you forgive me? Thank you very much. She worked so hard on that piece, too. Make some noise for Rini with that piece. Thank you. First time performing a spoken word piece? Is that your first time? Sort of. We could still say come back. Come back! Okay, so next up, we have a young lady named Hershey. She goes by the name of Hershey, and she's going to be performing a piece titled The Feeling. Can we make some noise all the way to the mic? And we're going to do Live It. 3, 2, 1, Live It!
The fire flame in your heart sends you flying like a dart. So close those eyes, forget those who told you lies, because it burns inside and makes you want to hide. Your emotions are being controlled, and you're feeling the cold. You wish and dream, and you're bursting at the seam. You have to open your heart, and that's the scary, vulnerable part. But the only way for a new start is for your heart to be ripped apart.
Okay, our claps are getting like dimmer and dimmer. I know how it goes in a poetry concert. So let's raise it, okay? Raise it. And we're going to do this for 7 seconds. Lots of noise. Go, 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 go. Louder, louder. Okay, remember to keep the energy alive. There's so much more to come. Next up, we have a young lady named Hannah who performed last year too. Hannah Chalmers, make some noise. The poem is called The Day I Nearly Died.
It started with the sunrise.
Can we give her a live it? Yeah. We'll start with your wonderful sunrise. 3, 2, 1, live it!
It started with the sunrise. Rule number 1, save me. Rule number 2, save yourselves. While the tide comes over you. The water glistens in the sun, stuck on a raft with nowhere to run. Look, don't tell me the water's warm. I can see the snow. I don't want to go in. Where are the rapids? This is too slow. Finally, here we go. Row, row, row. Faster, I said row. Suddenly, out of the blue came a big hole. We froze. The whole raft flipped, turtled. We had been chosen. My mind blanked as I sank. I came up gasping for breath, looking around. The guide had not been found. My friend bobbing around, screaming, "We're gonna die! The rocks! Where is our guy?" We were pulled out, but the next day we had much doubt. Boats told us later that they only saw shoes floating around as they watched in awe.
Could we keep that love going for Hannah for a second time performing at the American Embassy Spoken Word Concert? Thank you very much for sharing. We're going to take it to the screen and we're going to do another cinepoem. Please pay attention to the screen.
I come from a place where you are categorized, shoved in a box where you don't fit, a box you are desperate to escape.
This makes it hard for me to show my identity to them. My parents are there, but they are different.
I'm stuck in a dead end. I want to escape behind a wall that seems unbreakable.
But I push harder on that wall, and it falls down. So what if I love a woman? So what? Yes, I dream of being hand in hand with the one. Not the one they believe is right, the one I believe is right. Yes, I believe that this is okay. It is part of me, something to be accepted. Can't I be myself without all the abuse? Can't I be proud and unashamed to be different? Shouldn't I go on the road I want to go on? Not the road they want for me? The thoughts churn and funnel deep into my head, but in the end, I know the answer. So what if I love a woman? So what?
One of the things that I have been teaching students is spoken word exists in the hierarchy like this. It is self-expression. In between, underneath that, it is empowerment, and the throne of that is honesty. That is an example of self-expression, empowerment, and honesty. Please make some noise again for that piece. So next up on the mic, we have Surya performing a piece called Shadows Follow. Please make some noise and show some love all the way to the mic. This is a reminder, it's a safe space. If there is anything that you need to get off your chest, and you feel in a way triggered, please, you can take an exit to the left, to the right, take some time, and come back in quietly. Thank you. Make some noise. Let's put our fists up and say, live it. 3, 2, 1, live it.
Soft flesh dipping as I run over dark bodies of my brothers. The frequent high screams of my mother. Impaled, a hole in my head. I wonder what death smells like. Sweet fragrance of satisfaction with your life, or a sour regret of how you lived it. Actually, I've smelled it. It's nothing like that. All it is fear. The flesh rips up off the face of my father. The leaves rush past the bloody bodies of my brother. The sudden rush of fear, a fierce panic I have never, and I mean never, experienced until today, this one time when I tasted the salt of my bloody tears. I reach out to touch it, something that is here, that was always here, that will always be here. Darkness. Red splatters, the wetness, I can feel it. What's happening? Can't understand it. Just coughing. Someone tell me to stop it. A sharp sound, a blade behind me, fear coiling around and around me. Turning, I see a drop of blood before me. I again am running over dead bodies. The hand chases me. Dark shadows follow. I feel empty of happiness, just so hollow. The breeze breathes the words death to me. I hear it. I feel it. The swing of the knife. It's time for the end of my life.
Okay, at least I got the mic back from her. Thank you very much, Surya. Really powerful piece. That piece, just as a clarification, that's about a nightmare, am I right? That Surya has had. So just in case people are wondering, this got a whole nother level. That's what spoken word is, other levels of poetry and performance. Next up, we have a performer called Ji-hong, performing a piece that's called Untitled. Please make some noise all the way to the microphone. Taking it off, Mike? Let's do a speak. We'll take it back to speak. 3, 2, 1, speak.
Thank you. There have been a lot of amazing poems today about morality and deep beliefs that are held by people, and that's truly amazing. My poem is about something a bit different. I invite you to ponder about whether or not morality and ethics are entwined in the existence of the universe, or whether or not there is intention in everything. Thank you. Place and time, creation of day and night, of rhyme, of black and of white. The foundation of the macrocosm creating a cosmic lattice, a crystalline reality, a universal apparatus of perfect fidelity. But all without mark, without meaning, randomness in its perfection, stark, gleaming, a purportless happening upon which we impose ideals we see unraveling. Still, we revise what we suppose to know what surrounds and what is within, to know what abounds and that has been. But thought and dream and rise and fall, and that which we deem intrinsic to all, none will be found where none is inserted. And despite the morals we expound, existence is not concerted. It is only with inspection and reinvention can meaning not, but perhaps comprehension, be found, if sought. Thank you.
Like 3, 4 times. Grade 7, right? Do you want my job next year? I'd give it up to you, It's not a thing. Keep a little love going for Ji-hong. And I want to see more love for Thomas May performing a piece called Free Tibet. Keep it going, keep it going. Let's do the speak. 3, 2, 1, speak.
Tibet, home of His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama and his forefathers before him, all men of peace and religion. But then, in 1949, was invaded by Mao Zedong. Then everything that followed was undoubtedly wrong. The soldiers destroyed manuscripts, tore down temples and monasteries, accused the locals of worshiping fairies. Nowadays, this much is forgotten. No longer is there brutality that China brought on. That's probably why no one would remember this tragedy of those who were dismembered. Books burned, buildings shattered. Worst of all, the Tibetans were re-educated. Mao said they weren't properly learned. Fleeing from the injustice, the locals came to India, seek refuge from the fighting and the cultural destruction. Many died, but enough survived to tell a sad, desperate story. Some stayed back to fight as rebels, and most came to India, where they settled. China no longer considers this a problem, but they do not understand that Tibetans are as important as their production of computer modems. The Roof of Asia, as it is called, not many think of it as a country at all. His Holiness was exiled. He ran away from the flames and the murder when red crimson blood was shed. Some were decapitated and had to depart from their heads. Scared, panicked, afraid, they escaped these daily raids. Chaos was created. No one wanted to stay in the annexed nation. I could never try to imagine the fear and pain. All I hope is for this to never happen again. If we all come together, we can free our Buddhist brothers and make free the country that used to be Tibet. Thank you.
Keep that love going for Thomas May with a powerful political piece.